Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews.
I was going to make a joke about fingering Gary, but I won't.
And I'm Gary. And today we're going to review Freddy Got Fingered, which released in 2001, written and directed by Tom Green. Ian, why don't you give us the synopsis?
Well, the story follows Tom Green playing Gordon Brody. He's a cartoonist who's trying to get out of his dad's basement and get himself a job. But unfortunately, he's Tom Green as well and gets himself into some crazy situations involving dead deer skins, a cheese factory, and a girl in a wheelchair. Will we find out if Freddy actually got fingered?
You're gonna be so proud.
Proud?
Proud.
Man, I can't believe we're actually sitting here talking about Tom Green and Freddy getting fingered.
Yeah, man.
This was a film, believe it or not, this is also a film that has been stuck in my memory ever since seeing it. It should come with a warning that once you've seen this film, it will be a part of your life forever.
Like Two Girls and a Cup, I suppose.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's one of those haunting things. But back in the late 90s, Tom Green was getting very, very popular. He was on like a cable access television show, ended up on MTV, and ended up with a ¡1 song on MTV.
My bum is on the cheese! Bum is on the cheese! If I get lucky, I'll get a disease! My bum is on the Swedish!
And soon an entire generation was aware of who Tom Green was. And the studios, they were like, how? Why? We don't understand. We understand money. Let's give him some to see if he can make more money for us.
Yes, yeah, like brilliance.
Now, Tom Green, towards the end of the Tom Green show, he actually had a cancer diagnosis and he was having surgery, which was the final recorded broadcast, I think, was the actual surgery.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is also in Freddy Got Fingered when Freddy's watching TV and there's open surgery. Oh. That's Tom Green having his cancer removed.
Wow, that's...
So while he was recovering in hospital, 20th Century Fox or Regency were like, here's all of the actors we have to play your dad. Here's all the directors. Directors came into the hospital and sat with Tom Green. And Tom Green was like, none of you get it. Not a one of you get it. You are all Hollywood types. So how about 20th Century, you just give me the money and I'll go direct it myself. And they were like, hey, you know what, go do it.
Yeah.
And when this film finally released, audiences up and left during the film. It didn't do very well. As a matter of fact, Roger Ebert, I think, scathingly said it was one of the... It's not even worth mentioning in the same sentence as other barrels that you've scraped for bad films.
Wow, yeah.
So, and then the film also ended up picking up 5 Razzie Awards, including Worst Writer, Worst Director, Worst Film. Interestingly enough, though, Tom Green actually turned up and accepted his Razzie Awards. It's the second time that's ever happened after Paul Verhoeven turned up to get his Showgirls Razzie Award. Yeah, well, I was like, well, credit to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least Tom Green's name is up there with Paul Verhoeven. That's like some status.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Freddy Got Fingered dropped. I was just like, oh, God, it's another one of them. You know, like... 2000s, like we said, it was that time. Like, everybody was in or around MTV. The internet was blowing up. You could make a video on the internet and start to get popular, and then somebody would come along and throw money at you, so then you'd go off and do stupid things. You know, Jackass had been doing it, the guys from CKY. But, like, I'd also, at this time, I kind of had experienced a lot of this kind of thing. Like Tom Green is kind of like Weird Al Yankovic. And so Weird Al Yankovic had done the kind of same thing back in the 80s. He'd become popular, you know, with his crazy music and his songs. So then they'd given him money to make his own movie, UHF.
It also reminds me in the slightest bit of like Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Who would almost make gags just to make himself laugh.
Exactly.
At everyone else's expense.
Yeah, it's like that shock comedy because, you know, with your canned laughter comedy and your, you know, some of your stand-up comedians doing films, it kind of gets a bit samey. You know, your audience needs to sink its teeth into something really juicy, something really stupid. And if I remember rightly, like it might have happened before, but I think Tom Green was one of the first movies to be like getting an unrated version. You know,
I don't know.
you had your cinema, yeah, but you had your cinema release, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna release on DVD with extra scenes," and then you get the extra scenes, and they're shit. You're like, "Why did I buy this extra scene stuff?" Oh, because you thought like Tom Green was gonna wear the moose suit for longer,
Right?
You know, or you might see the girl in the wheelchair a bit more naked. But I remember Freddy Got Fingered came out, and everyone was excited to see it, and I was just like, no.
We were the absolute like target demographic.
Totally.
We were that age.
Yes.
You know, in the early 2000s, 18, 19, when Tom Green was doing his thing and Jackass and everything else. So
Yeah.
we were there for it.
But it's the fact that as well, for me, like looking at Tom Green, he's not a Steven Spielberg.
No.
You know, he's not going to be a great writer, and I can think that maybe his plot is going to be so wafer thin, especially with a title of Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, it's also kind of amazing that title exists. Now, but that was it. Tom Green already said like his intention with this was to make the most chaotic,
Yes,
and craziest film that's ever been put out in cinemas, and that was their goal, their aim.
And I don't think they completed it. I think worse ones or better ones have come and gone.
True, but at the same time, I also feel like this was Tom Green. I don't know whether it was intentional. Like this must have been
Right.
to make a satire,
Yes.
of all of the American schlock that gets put out.
Absolutely.
We had just prior to this had Something About Mary,
Yes.
and American Pie,
Yeah.
and then a year later we get this.
Yeah.
So it was like it was parodying those films by having the schmaltzy Hollywood-esque tropes in there.
Yes,
But at
totally.
the same time having obscene, offensive, vulgar, disgusting visuals and physical comedy and humor.
Yeah.
That just makes people get up and leave the cinema. So it's like it went too far.
But it's the way the movie starts as well. Like Tom Green's just at his dad's basement, laughing at his own drawings. You know, angry beavers shouting at each other, and there's an X-ray cat man who can't see through wood.
Only through wooden doors.
Only through wooden doors. Sorry, yeah. And I remember sitting there the first time watching the movie, like, oh god, this is gonna drag, because even though Tom Green was popular, I wasn't a Tom Green fan, and that's because I didn't have as much access to MTV as I would have liked to, you know, and over here in the UK it wasn't as big for us. So we're just trying to, absorb his character to us. And like I said, he's not the greatest actor either, but he's got Rip Torn playing his dad, Jim Brody, to fall back on. Now, Rip Torn, still not the greatest actor in the world, but he's done some great roles.
He's a legend.
Yeah, I know he's a legend, but there's like Tom Cruise legendary.
Yeah.
And then there's Rip Torn legendary. Like Dodgeball, yeah, brilliant. Men in Black, okay. Anything else?
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, I forgot. Right, that's right, Beastmaster. Let's go with that, shall we? But Jim is just happy that Gordy is finally moving out. He's moving to LA to chase his dreams. He's going to work in a cheese sandwich factory, and he's going to try and get his drawings to some cartoonists. Because remember, back in the 2000s, you could just walk into buildings with a backpack and nobody would really attempt to stop you or shoot you because, freedom, whatnot. But they've given Gordy a car, and you've got Eddie K. Thomas, Shipwreck from American Pie, playing the legendary Freddy. And he's the younger brother who's really upset because, well, Gordy's got a car and can drive to LA, but he hasn't got anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's about to get on the bus, and Dad's just like, no, here's your new car we just got you.
Yeah.
With custom license plate, number one son.
Number one son.
And Freddy's like, Gordy's like, hey, Freddy, Mom and Dad love me more than you. I don't see two cars, just one car.
One car.
And then he's getting in the car, and Dad's like, you go off and you make me proud.
Yeah.
Proud?
Proud.
Proud. And then as he pulls away, there's like somebody in front of him, and he's like, out the back away! And drives off. He's like,
Proud.
Get the fuck out of the way!
that's something I want to bring up, actually. Like we said, we watched this film many years ago and we've watched it for the review. And I don't know about you, but I think I've tried to avoid rewatching it at some point over the
I've
last
not needed to. It's lived rent-free.
Exactly, that proud moment.
Yeah.
It's proud. Like, it sticks with you.
It's the repeating of it. And obviously, there is the point of where the repetition of something, it's funny, then it gets annoying.
Yeah.
And then it gets funny again.
Yeah.
And that's what this film kind of does. If you are on the wavelength of its humor,
Yeah.
you can ride that through. But of course, it's one of those films that's going to spike in random directions.
That's it, because it adds in the elements that Tom Green has found successful on his show. So, for example, with this part where he's driving towards LA, he sees a horse being milked.
Yes, milked.
And I believe that they had done this in the show as well to get the gross out, vulgar kind of audience behind them. And so Tom Green decides, Gordy, that he's going to go over and, play with the horse's penis and see what it does. And once again, just like what Gary said, this will happen a couple of times. There's a part where we watch a horse mount another horse and Tom Green just eats a sandwich. And then you've got the elephant sequence at the end of the movie. Spoilers.
Well, I guess it's kind of set up and payoff. So, it's got arcs.
It's got arcs, I suppose. But Gordy does make it to Los Angeles, and he makes it to the cheese factory, and he works there for what I think is maybe 30 minutes.
Right. We see it for 20 seconds as he's playing with his giant meat.
He's just hitting that woman in the face. I'm like, I gotta give it to that lady. She just stood there. Right, your job is just to stand there making a cheese sandwich and don't interact with Tom at all, because he's gonna dong you in the face with a giant piece of meat.
See, it's looking at a shot like that, you're almost like, these aren't extras or actors. They just turned up at a cheese factory and went, can we film in here? And Tom Green's just going to do his thing wherever all the workers are just trying to carry on. That's the kind of setup it's going for in the looks, where he is, like he is in his TV show, a menace to society. He is not a very likable character.
No.
He is doing nothing to win you over, except the fact that he's got a really over-the-top obnoxious father who is just as crazy as Gordy.
Yeah. But, like we said, Gordy gets to LA and he goes to meet Anthony Michael Hall from Halloween Kills, who's the head of this animation company, and he wants to give him the drawings. And I'm sat there like, oh my God, you killed the Halloween franchise. This is where you were all this time? Not 4 years spending it in a sewer somewhere. You've been living in fucking Freddy Got Fingered, Anthony Michael Hall. But before he meets up with him, he does go to the company, and he runs into Gordy runs into his wife at the time, Drew Barrymore.
Well, actually, they were just dating at this point. They got married straight after the film.
Straight
and then
after.
divorced the year after that.
I mean, I got to give that to him as well. Somehow Tom Green, like, I just assumed Drew Barrymore was on drugs and drink the late 90s, because she said she was struggling. So at some point she went, I'm going to marry that man. And it was Tom Green.
Fuck off! You're a skinny loser! Someone call security!
Don't call them.
Shit!
I've also got to bring up the fact, that thing where he does with the security guard, where he was like, Japan just pointing at the floor. I still do that now.
Yeah.
It's the most annoying joke in the world.
Yeah, menace to society, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
It's okay.
what are you talking about?
Japan
Are you
4.
here for delivery?
Japan 4.
Japan 4?
Shashik.
What?
Shashik.
Gordy ends up trying to get the number of the guy he wants to get his animations to, and there's this whole drama where he's just like, oh, I need to tell him his wife's dead. And that's how she's like, oh, I'm devastated. Here's his number. He's at this restaurant. Go.
Yeah. And then he turns around and he's like, oh, she's not really dead. And Drew Barrymore's like, you're crazy. And you're like, it's just going to be...
She's just mirroring his energy.
Yeah, more situational moments like this. And he gets to the restaurant and he confronts Anthony Michael Hall. And Anthony Michael Hall's just like, look, these are all right, but you need some kind of context. We need something else. I'm not just going to buy these off you. And so Gordy's deflated. He even says to him, you need to get inside the animals, understand it. And we keep having the little boy, Andy.
Oh, it's my favourite recurring joke throughout the film.
What, the boy getting hurt?
Yeah. One of the opening shots of the film is Gordy driving off And the kid's running after him, going, "Hey, Gordy, Gordy, Gordy!"
Smack.
No. That's the first shot. He doesn't even. He's not even acknowledged.
Oh, right,
He's
right.
just ignored.
Right, yeah.
And then when Gordy does come back, and he's just like, "Hey, Gordy, Gordy, Gordy!" He runs right into the car. He's like, "Oh, damn!" But then that kid and his dad keep popping up throughout the film, and he'll have glass thrown at his face. And...
Yeah, a ball thrown at his face. He just keeps getting smacked. And like we said, it's the kick into this vulgar humor that you're going to have. You know, what makes people cringe most? Well, children getting hurt. But I kind of like how this movie did it because, you know, we're talking 2000. They're taking their time to say, right, we can't really hurt the child. So what we'll do is we'll set up these visual gags. And after the door one, you sit there going, "Oh, man."
It's because his face is covered in blood. You're like, "Oh, my
Yeah,
God."
but it's also the impact of the air. But it's also when you see him then later on, you're thinking, you're looking around like Final Destination, like what's going to hit him in the face or something. But Gordy, deflated, decides he's going to drive back to his parents because obviously he's lost his job at the cheese factory for reasons, and they've not bought his pictures. And he comes across a dead deer. Now, interestingly, is that real dead deer, or was it a fake deer body shoved in with guts? I've never really looked into it, but I just kind of assume it was a real deer.
I'm going to go with that it probably was a real deer.
A real deer. Like, it's definitely not a real body being hit by the truck.
No.
That's...
Yeah. That's an effect. And again, awesome. Like, it's just making noises, flinging himself around, you know, almost Jim Carrey-esque in nature until he does just stand up and gets flattened by an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Well, he's not flattened, he's sent skidding down the road. And you can't help but laugh at it.
It's the way he stands up after. He's like, whoa.
Didn't expect that. Yeah.
But Gordy does go home, and Dad, Jim, Rip Torn, is not happy. Mum is. Mum, played by Julie Haggerty, you know, the fucking waitress from Airplane.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
She's so innocent looking sometimes.
Yeah.
And she's so supportive of her children that, like, her kind of emotional responses to Rip Torn make his character, Jim, kind of stand out because he's the bad dad character. You know, we're supposed to hate Dad and love Gordy because Gordy's everything that the audience wants to be. Free-spirited and going off to do whatever they want to do. So when it gets to the fucking, he makes a half ramp, skateboard ramp in his driveway, and his friend comes along, and Gordy says to his mate, like, "Oh, you know, do you want to practice on it?" And the guy doing it he's like a really famous comedian as well. I forget his name, but he was in Dumb and Dumber. He's the guy who drinks the beer.
That's right, yeah.
Shut up in there, and it's fucking piss water. And he slides on the half ramp and breaks his leg.
To which Gordy decides to get intimate with.
Like, it's a stupid effect, and now I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, oh god, it's so stupid. But the first time, and you hear the snap, and then you see like Tom Green's face, like, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I've been there. There were times, man, dark times, dark times.
Let me get him an ambulance. You get a job. He's got a job.
So he goes to visit his friend in the hospital. And he has a chance encounter with this attractive young receptionist who's flipping like creamers.
Yeah.
It turns out that she's a rocket scientist who's also day jobbing as a nurse.
Yeah.
Well, she's an aspiring rocket, scientist. But she eventually kind of flirts with Gord a little bit, exchanges number.
Yeah.
And then he's off to go and see his friend, who is in the weirdest hospital ward I've seen, where you've got 2 Native Americans, you've got the guy with the broken leg, and then you've got a pregnant lady. I was like, why is the pregnant lady here and not with the other pregnant ladies?
That's it. The pregnant lady is there for the joke, but why is this one man in this room with like these women? And it's all a big setup. But I mean, the nurse, like you said, Marisa Coughlan, playing Betty the nurse. You know, the only other film I remember her from really is Super Troopers.
Yeah.
And she was kind of great in that. You know, kind of the same kind of love interest for one of the main characters to bounce off of. And in this, like I said, yeah, they've set her up that she's a rocket scientist and she wants to see if she can make her wheelchair go super fast. And they'll set up this love interest between her and Tom Green, but with the ward sequence, and he's hurting his mate's leg again, and the lady with the baby is getting more and more stressed, so then she starts giving birth, and Tom Green decides he's going to put on the doctor's jacket and he's going to help her give birth.
He pulls it out. Whoop! He's like, I've got the baby.
He's sort of like leaning back.
Yeah. And then he starts swinging it around like a lasso.
Well, that's after he's bit the umbilical cord.
Right. Blood spraying everyone in the ward. And it's like, and then here's your baby. And then that's what I mean about like the sentimental music kicking in.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh.
He was the hero. He was the good guy at this point, you know, and it's a strange arc because you're like, oh, I thought he was going to like kill the baby or maybe had flown into a microwave or something. But no, he was the hero, which makes Betty kind of love him even more. And so they get together for their dates. Now, at this point, if you've got to this point of the Tom Green fucking movie, Freddy Got Fingered, everything else after this is just a breeze. You know, you've seen dead deers, you've seen babies come flying out and umbilical cords being bit through and stuff. And so when he goes to Betty's house, and Betty, like we said, she's paralyzed from the legs down, but she's got a kink.
Mm-hmm. And a very large wooden cane or bamboo stick. She's like, hey, Gordy, please whip me with this across my shins. It gives me tingles. Yeah. And so Gordy's like, well, I've never really caned anyone before, but he goes to town on those legs. And he gets a little bit too excited and whops her across the face. And she's like, hey, you know what? That's fine. Just don't do that again. And now it's your turn.
For me, that's the payoff of that joke. It's her getting whipped in the legs and then going, right, now it's time for your oral sex. And he's like, oh, okay. It's the fact that later on it'll become like an argument. He's like, oh, but all we do is I whip your legs and you give me blowjobs. We should be doing something more of our relationship.
Our date to sex ratio is off, Betty. All right, well, let's go on a date.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gordy is still back at home getting shouted at by his dad. Mm-hmm. We cut to Tom Green in his dad's room, I think, wearing his suit.
Backwards,
but it's on backwards. And now Gordy is the backwards man. The backwards man. I can walk faster. I can walk backwards as fast as you can. What? He's doing this in front of the mirror? It's not like he's recording himself for YouTube.
No.
It's not like he's making a skit for his dad. He's just doing this for himself. And you're like, okay, he's absolutely deranged.
I think as well, that's another thing from the show. Like he'd done it on the show for a laugh,
right.
Walking down the street, acting all backwards. So seeing it in the film, as a fan of the show, if you'd seen it, you'd be like, oh yeah, they did the thing. But yeah, Rip Torn's just like, why are you doing this? And Tom Green's like, oh, I was trying on one of your suits because I've got a job. I'm working in investments now. And his dad's like, woohoo, yay, you've got a job. You'll finally be able to move out. Here's some money. You know, go get yourself some supplies. So Gordy uses this money to take Betty out on this date to the restaurant, which just so happens his dad is out with his wife. And so is Andy and his dad as well. Right. So there's this massive, huge confrontation between Rip Torn and Tom Green because Gordy gets a phone call from his briefcase.
Well, he's pretending to Betty that he does have a job. Yeah. And so he does the fake phone call.
You're fucking fired! You're fucking fired!
Clean out your office, Bob!
Bob, you're fucking fired, Bob!
Making this huge scene, of course.
I say Geneva, you hear Helsinki? 40 million fucking Deutschmark, Bob!
He's like, Gordy, knock it off! So these two end up getting into, a food fight. Yeah. They start throwing food everywhere, but Gordy's dad, Rip Torn's got to take it one step further and throw a wine ball across the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right in Andy's face.
We know we shouldn't be laughing at it. It's stupid humor, but I don't know. Freddy Got Fingered can hit you at a certain time in your life that you're like, man, that is funny as fuck.
I needed that laugh today.
So at this point as well, they decide that they're going to go to family therapy. And while in the office. They're talking, and this is where finally the title of the movie gets brought up. Gordy admits to everybody there that he thinks his dad has been secretly taking Freddy down into the basement behind something and been fingering him. And so Rip Torn goes crazy. There's no evidence of any of this, but it just escalates from here, you know. Mum is absolutely unsure if dad's been actually doing this. Fucking little Freddy, who's not little, he's a fucking grown man, gets picked up by the police
counselor.
and the counselor and gets taken to some fucking home. He's like living on his own. He's like, I'm 24.
28, I think.
28. And yeah, Gordy and his dad are having massive confrontations at home, especially over food. There's the whole chicken sandwich argument at the dinner table where he doesn't want to eat beef, he wants chicken.
I'm a grown man, Daddy. I can eat a chicken sandwich if I want.
There's situations with sausages and keyboards.
Oh my God.
Multitasking at the same time. Daddy,
I'm looking for treasure, Daddy.
I'm sorry. And then you got that point where Rip Torn comes downstairs, doesn't he? And he's just like, fuck me, fuck you, fuck me, fuck you. And he pulls down his pants and the wife comes down and thinks that he's trying to get Freddy to get Gordy to fuck him. So she storms out. So everything's just going absolute pear-shaped. Even Gordy is having, you know, it's kind of harsh, but I do like the way that Marisa Coughlan just kind of sits there just taking it when he confronts her on the runway and he's just like, this is never going to work, Betty. You should stop going for your dreams, Betty. And she's like, oh, okay, Gordy. He's like, yeah, Betty, it's never going to work. Because, you know, for his character, everything's gone down the tube. So he feels that way to every other characters. But this is the point in the movie where the movie actually turns it all around going, oh, but Gordy, you can redeem yourself because you see Nurse Betty being able to use her rocket wheelchair, you know?
It was hysterical. Watching her just go zoom. It's the fact that the reporter just turns into the camera. Wow, look at her go! And it's just a shot. It's just like bad. It's just her shooting down the runway.
Yeah.
She did it.
Look at her go!
But she's fulfilled her dream. She's made a rocket-powered wheelchair. So
Yeah.
Gordy's like, well, maybe I can sell my cartoons.
Yes, but I have to come up with an idea. What kind of idea shall I come up with? Well, he gets told by his friend that his dad character is quite funny. So he comes up with Zebras in America. It's about a family of human zebra centaur people who moved to America. And Gordy is one and his dad is another. And he takes this idea to Anthony Michael Hall, while he's also being chased by his dad as well, or his dad chases him to there.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, and makes a full scene.
Yeah.
Because at first he's just like, this cartoon, it's not realistic, until Dad turns up and literally reenacts the cartoon in real life.
Yeah.
And of course he thinks it's a full skit, a presentation,
Yeah.
a pitch for the cartoon. And he's like, that energy, that's exactly what we need. I'm going to sign you a check right now.
Yeah.
How about, here's $1 million to go get started.
Yeah. I mean, don't you just miss those days?
But that's how, it's literally a mirror to how this film got made.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody just went, here's some money. You go,
we like your energy.
go do whatever you need to do. And then you get that brief kind of moment of animation. I did read somewhere, I forgot to write it down. It was a famous animator who had
Really?
animated all of this to work.
As bad as possible.
But that plays into it because it's like Gordy's
Yeah.
drawings are coming alive on screen for you.
But it's also a kind of joke, like, look, for us, it's like, look how terrible that cartoon is. Look what I wasted your money on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also, look at Freddy Got Fingered. Look what I wasted your money on. It's like a mirror to it.
Yeah, but we'd already seen this as well. It's like South Park, the movie, had come out before
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. You know, and we at that point when South Park, the movie, had come out, we thought movies couldn't get any more cringier. And then somebody went, Tom Green can make a film.
Hi, my name is Harry. Ah, do you hear the funny sound? Do you hear the funny sound? It's my hooves. It's my hooves.
And so he does. Gordy gets his $1 million and he decides that the best thing he can do is, he gives some money to Betty.
Yeah, well, he
doesn't
flies down on his helicopter and is like, Betty, you're
Yeah.
right. I got something for you, Betty. It's jewels,
Jewels,
Betty.
Betty, jewels.
Jewels. She's like, I don't want jewels. I just want to suck your cock. It's like, oh, so sentimental. She really loves him. What? It's so messed up. And he's like, okay, forget about the jewels. I'm off now. I'm going to see my daddy.
Yeah. And so he sneaks into his dad's house, kind
Full
of
SWAT
Sam
uniform.
Fisher, Splinter Cell style,
Right.
takes him out with a tranquilizer, and then deconstructs the house and moves it all the way to Pakistan.
Just follow Dad doing his morning routine, like, oh, why's the taps not working?
Gordy!
Like, what was the whole plan of this? The house is on top of a giant truck on this one piece of wood, and Gordy's plan is to drive through as many villages, I suppose, as he can with the truck until they crash. And then he can tell his dad that he got the $1 million and he's a famous cartoonist like he wanted to be at the beginning of the movie.
So you did it. I am proud of you. Proud.
Payoff, I suppose.
Yeah.
Arc.
Well, yeah, I mean, the bedroom on part of the house collapses down and crashes. Gordy ends up going through the window.
That is kind of a cool stunt. I mean, because it's kind of like, was it Buster Keaton?
Yeah,
with the old
yeah.
school black and white
True,
movies.
true.
And I'm like, you know what? That I try not to enjoy this, but the fact that over the years of experience in films, Tom Green went out of his way, filmed it, got the money, made these shots. And makes it last this long. Like, part of me wants to say this movie is aged badly. But it feels like I could watch this movie in another 20 years and still have fun with it.
I think so, yeah. Strangely, yeah. But yeah, he ends up being hollered at by his dad. He ends up wandering into a tent, and there's an elephant with a large trunk, which hoses down Dad. Oh boy. And then he gets booted out of the tent, and they're both laid there. And that's where he's like, I sold my doodles, Dad.
Yeah.
I got paid $1 million. And Rip Torn's like, proud. But then a net gets thrown over both of them, and they've both been captured. And then they're being held hostage and forced to play. And then he cuts to parties with them.
Yeah, now we have to admit that at this point, like, Naked Gun had done it before as well, where terrorists abducting people and holding them hostages could be funny.
Yeah, in the right context.
In the right kind of context. And so this is how this movie kind of ends, is with them being held hostage and then American Navy SEALs or whatever going over and rescuing Rip
We didn't
Torn.
see any of this.
No, we just see them coming back on a plane with their long beards and their long hair.
There is a gag that I kind of liked where when Dad had destroyed his skate ramp,
Yeah.
and there's just Mum and Gordy there, and he's like, "Look, Mum, you don't need to put up with this shit any longer. Like, you need to go out there and fulfill your sexual desires, Mum. You need to go out there and have sex with basketball players." And so when they've been rescued and coming off the plane, it cuts to Mum, who has left Dad at this point and is in bed with Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal!
Right?
She was getting her Shaq on. I always like how Shaq just plays into that. He's just like, can you do this? He starts doing all the bed
Starts
flips.
gyrating on the bed.
And then you get that shot of Tom Green stood by the car waving. The American flag is symbolized behind him.
I do love the sign that somebody's holding up saying, "When the fuck will this film end?" Yeah, please.
Yes, please.
I appreciated the jokes and the laughs, but come on, let's
Come
wrap
on,
this shit
yeah.
up.
And it is only like an hour and a half long, which is kind of quite short.
Believe it or not, it was nearly 2 hours, the original runtime,
course, it
before
was.
studio cuts and so on.
It would have had so many extra skits thrown in there to give it the elongation, but then the rating system would have been like, no.
Well, they actually were. There was only one major cut that was needed to be made, and
Yeah.
that's this ending where Andy and his dad are also in the crowd
They
to welcome
are.
Gordy back.
Yeah.
And of course, Andy goes running off for Gordy again.
Yeah.
And
Gets sucked into the engine propeller of the plane, and we don't see it. We just see the blood splatter, and then we hear him go, "I'm okay." But there is an ending where he gets splattered, and he's not okay.
well, that the studio forced them to add that bit of dialogue at the end just to, because they were like, "No, you're getting an X rating."
That's
with that.
it. It would
You
be
can't kill kids.
cannot
You can
kill-
throw wine balls in his face.
Yeah, as long as that kid's fine, you could kick him with a horse and bury him in acid, but he's got to be okay at the end, okay?
I'm
Freddy got fingered, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do you have favorite scenes?
I was just thinking the same thing. I actually, looking at my notes, I didn't actually mark any, but in my head, fucking, like, I suppose any shot with Tom Green in us, but well, not all of them. Like, the sausage sequence, I think, is funny as hell. You know, the backwards man is pretty memorable. Proud. You know, like that shot, that first shot where you see him whipping Nurse Betty's legs and then he cracks her in the face. The boy running to the side of the car. Like, scenes I don't like. The scenes with Anthony Michael Hall in, because all I see him is going, evil dies tonight.
I don't know. I actually quite liked his character because he actually...
Oh, he's a douchebag.
No, not really. He's the one who gives Gordy some actual good advice about being dedicated to... You know, if you want to make it in Hollywood or make it in that profession, you've got to give yourself over.
That is true.
Fully to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, he wasn't the corporate asshole that most movies would present those characters as.
No, yeah. He was just the guy to go, yep, here's the money, you were funny, you know, you did what I asked, yeah.
But he's also the one to turn to Tom Green and go, it makes no sense. It sucks. And I'm like, that's 90% of the audience reaction to this film.
And Halloween Kills, but carry on.
Yeah, there are many memorable, I'm not going to say favourite, memorable, like I said, rent-free in the head. Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Daddy, would you like some sausages? And it's just Rip Torn just stood there looking around like, why did I accept this contract? Why am I doing this job?
I like how he grabs the strings and Tom Green's arms
just go up in the air. Yeah. I mean, he dropped some, I guess, offensive language by today's standards.
Yeah.
You know, he drops the F word, you know, the one that ends in a T.
Yeah.
You know, and the R word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It also ends with a T. No, D. No, I think I'm one of those. Hey, look, I just watched Freddy Got Fingered, okay? My brain is scrambled eggs. I'll tell you, there's some scenes that really do annoy me in the film. And that is him at the cheese factory. Him playing with his sausage meat. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, this is the moment where I'm like, I am too old for this shit. This is just grating and annoying.
Ding dong! Ding dong! Ding dong! Ding dong! Ding dong!
The same for the Zebras in America cartoon sketch.
Yeah.
Listen to my hooves. Listen to my hooves. Clippity cloppity clippity. Listen to my hooves. It was just like that kind of humor. It just it's like being smacked with a cane across the face, you know. And at the same time, it was like at the advent of YouTube, and people were like, "Hey Gary, look at this cartoon, and it's about unicorns wanting to go to Candy Mountain, Charlie."
Candy Mountain, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. We're going to Candy Mountain. Come with us, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie.
We're going to Candy Mountain.
Shit.
It's like that kind of humor at this point in time where you're just like, it's not funny.
That's not funny!
Why am I laughing?
But why am I laughing?
Fucking stupid.
Right.
It's stupid.
So, yeah. Ian, do you recommend Freddy Got Fingered?
Yeah, I really don't want to, but I believe this movie is like one of those pinnacle moments in film history that you always kind of have to remember. And the reason why is because it did come out at a particular time where film companies wanted to make a film based on what the audience were loving at the moment. And at that point, it was Tom Green. Why? I can't tell you. It just fucking was, okay? They gave him money and he went out and Tom Green does what Tom Green did, whatever, plural. It's stupid, but it's also funny. It's crazy, but it's a moniker of that time. Tom Green wrote it, filmed it, edited it, made jokes, made a parody of America at the time, or what we'll see in the future as well, and it will just sit there in historical monuments to film. I don't ever think I'll ever see anybody on YouTube on that Criterion Collection video go, oh, Freddy got fingered. Now this is a movie, you know, because if they might do in 20 years time, 50 years time, somebody watching our review might be on there going, I remember when Ian and Gary were talking about Freddy got fingered. It's fucking terrible. But
I love it.
I love it. It's funny. It's just stupid, cringy, funny humor.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend Freddy Got Fingered. As it holds up fairly well as an absurd, repulsive, awkward comedy that pokes fun at the mainstream Hollywood cringe. It's also fair to say that this is a massively divisive film with polarizing reviews, and Tom Green's antics are just as likely to offend as leave you in stitches. The physical comedy doesn't always land, nothing really makes sense, but its shocking and unpredictable moments will stay with you, making Freddy Got Fingered a hard film to forget. The cast of screwball side characters and Rip Torn going insane kept things energized, along with some fun reoccurring gags. So yeah, it won all the worst awards. It's hated, tagged as one of the worst films ever made, and yeah, still, this gave me several good belly laughs, and that made this a fun nostalgic trip worth a watch. This time, you can't change the channel. Thanks for watching Off the Shelf Reviews.
I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am?
It doesn't make any sense, Gordon.
It sucks.